So in this video, I'm actually gonna break down all the biggest lessons I learned being obsessed with Kobe Bryant and the Lakers as a kid. He just passed away today, and I have to work and make videos, but I don't want to make my normal ones. So I can promise you, whether you're just stumbling on this because you're a Kobe fan or you're stumbling on this because you already subscribed to my channel, that this will be emotional and still inspiring and meaningful. And these are all things I learned about basketball that I've applied in my life to live the life of my dreams and to have success and happiness I never imagined that I could have, simply by watching this guy every single night of my life for 15 years and trying to pretend that I was him when I was in the driveway every day. His nickname was Black Mamba, and when I was a kid, my brother nicknamed me White Mamba. So let's do it. All right, so the first lesson that I learned, and if you dig this video, make sure you hit the like button. I hope other Kobe Bryant and basketball fans and just people that are dealing with a hard time in life see this. Forgive me, I'm obviously not gonna get through this video without tears. I didn't think that I would, but it's just gonna happen. So the first thing that you taught me was to dive for every loose ball. When I was a kid, I passed my junior English class in high school by writing a persuasive essay on why Kobe Bryant was better than LeBron James. LeBron James is a far better athlete than Kobe Bryant was. 6'9", 6'10", 265 pounds, basically never been hurt in his career, just like the most God-given specimen you could be. Obviously, LeBron works extremely hard to take full advantage of that, but he was a way better and way more gifted athlete. Same with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan could dunk from the free throw line. Michael Jordan was shorter than Kobe, but could reach higher than Kobe. He had bigger hands than Kobe. These people were more physically gifted than Kobe was. But here's the thing about Kobe. He was so psychotic about being the best that he could possibly be that he would do the same move in a world where people get paid $30 million to play basketball and they can't make 75% of their free throws. Heck, most of them can't even make 60% of their free throws. A lot of them can't make 50. And they get paid $30 million to stand about 10 feet from the basket with no one guarding them and make it. And they can't do it. It speaks volumes for how little they pay attention to detail. That's all it is. Kobe wasn't the best athlete, but he would do the same move 5,000 times in a row in practice with no one watching him at full game speed. So when I say he taught me to dive for every loose ball in life, what I mean by that is, so I was 19 years old and I dropped out of college. I was a first team All San Diego basketball player. I went to a Division III school to play basketball, and I realized, dude, I'm not going to the NBA, and I didn't want to be in school, so I dropped out on the spot, and I backpacked around the world, and I wrote a self-published book called Into the Wind about my travels around the world and the inspirational messages within it. So I wrote that when I was 20, and every single publishing company said no to me. My family thought I was insane. My friends thought I was insane. Every single person told me it was a bad idea. I wouldn't be successful. I'm too young. You don't know how to write, which I didn't. I told you earlier, I passed junior English class in high school by writing a persuasive essay, 2-page, double-spaced, on why Kobe was better than LeBron. The reason I did that is because I got kicked out of normal junior English class, so I had to finish an independent study where you sit in a room by yourself with a bunch of other kids that are just as crazy as you, and there's really no teacher, and you do your own assignments. So that was what I did. So realistically, yeah, they were right. It wasn't a good idea to become an author, especially because 95% of books don't sell 2,500 copies. So after every publisher said no, well, first of all, to write the book was really hard because I didn't know how to write, and I couldn't concentrate because I was diagnosed with ADD and ADHD, and that's what I thought I had and all that stuff. So I realized, and I started thinking, if I could take, because I wasn't the best basketball player either, a lot of people could jump higher than me, run faster than me, they were stronger than me, but I think I cared more than everybody else. And that's why I was first team All San Diego. Southern California is one of the best in Division I as well. It's one of the best areas in America for basketball. And there was people that were all San Diego second team and third team that didn't make first team that were way better athletes than me. But watching Kobe Bryant every single night, I learned to care more than them. And I said, look, if it's true that no one's gonna publish my book and that this won't work, and I'm not that smart, yes, I agree. I could look in the mirror and say there's a lot of people more smart than me, but I'm gonna care more than them, and I'm gonna dive for every loose ball. I'm gonna do every single thing in life that nobody wants to do. I'm gonna sit here and write this book while my neck hurts. No one's gonna publish it, so I'm gonna sell the books out of the trunk of my car, which is what I did. I printed 5,000 copies and I sold them at farmers markets. I rented tables at college campuses, and I stopped students on the way to class. I was 21, and I did that for years, and I sold 10,000 books out of the trunk of my car. And that led to me getting a book contract with the #1 publishing company in the world, Penguin Random House. And to grow this YouTube channel, I did the same thing. I published a video pretty much every single day for 3 years. I have over 1,000 videos on this channel. There are way more people, way better writers than me, way smarter than me, way more credentials than me, but I watched Kobe Bryant every single night for my entire life, and I saw him dive for every ball. I saw him care more than every other player. I saw him do moves that literally look like a robot should be doing them. And the reason he was able to do them is because he did them so many times over and over. If you dive for every loose ball in your life, you will beat the person who's smarter than you. They might be more gifted than you, they might be more talented than you, they might have went to a better college, they might have more money, they might have more connections, they might have the right mentors and the right coaches and the right teachers, they might have the right network, they may have better charisma, they may be better looking, they may be in better shape, they may have more physically gifted attributes than you. But if you dive for every loose ball in life, literally every loose ball in life, you can be anybody that you want to be in life. And I learned that from the Black Mamba. The second thing I learned from you is that free throws were about focus. And what I mean by that is, so I watch basketball every night. Ashley and I, it's what we do together. And my biggest pet peeve is watching professional athletes get paid $5, $10, $20, $30, $40 million, and they can't make a wide open shot from 8 feet away with no one guarding them. They get to do a routine, they get to stand there for 10 seconds, and they can't make them. There are people making $20 million that can't do a simple job. If you get paid $20 million and you miss a free throw and your team loses the game, then you don't take your job seriously. You just don't. You know, like even LeBron James, who I love, shoots 67% from the free throw line. That's it. You should not, you're filming too many movies. You should not be shooting 67% from the free throw line. You get paid $40 million and a bunch of side money, stand there and make your free throws. And Kobe Bryant would shoot thousands of made free throws. Here's the difference. Most people will shoot free throws, but they won't count the mades. He would stay there until he made them. It's about focus. That's what free throws are about. You can have no basketball ability, and if you go on YouTube, you can find grandpas, like actual people that are 95 years old, like there's viral videos of it. People make 100 in a row that are 90 years old. Because it doesn't have anything to do with physical ability. All it has to do with is focus. Now, if you draw that same parallel in life, there's a lot of people that do YouTube that could be successful on YouTube, but they start and stop all the time because they aren't focused. They can't get their work done efficiently enough. They can only publish one video a week, so they never get enough content out to scale. And you can draw this parallel for everything. There are people that went to Harvard. There are people from the wealthiest families in the world. There are people with a bunch of money. There are people that have all the right resources. They have the right mentors. They have the right teachers. But they're lazy and they will not be as successful as they could be. And when they're on their deathbed, they will look back at their life and regret it because they knew there was still more gas in the tank. You liken it to a generator, to a what's it called? The governors on the cars. You know, the governors on the cars factory are meant to top out at whatever. Let's say you've got a Porsche and it tops out at 100. So that's not really how fast the car goes. It's a generator, it's a governor put on the car. Most of us spend our whole lives with a governor on our potential in our minds and our focus. And we only tap about 40 to 50% of our real potential. We tell ourselves stupid excuses And then we believe those excuses and we justify our lack of focus because of it. I can't focus, I can't concentrate. I said that every day of my life until I dropped out of college and I realized there was gonna be no safety net. I said that every day until I realized I'd die for every loose ball. I was prescribed Adderall, I was prescribed Ritalin, I had ADHD, or that's what the doctors told me. I couldn't focus, I couldn't concentrate, and now I have a multi-million-dollar business and I publish with the #1 English publishing company in the world, Penguin Random House. I didn't go to Harvard. I don't even really know how to write. The only reason my books are even can be read well is because I had good editors. Like, I'm not afraid to admit that. But what I'm saying here is whatever you want, you can accomplish if you focus enough. Free throws are about focus, and so is life. You have to weed out distractions in life. You have to be able to sit at the computer long enough to get your work done even when your neck hurts. You have to be able to sit there and read through the book. You have to finish the books you read. The average CEO reads 52 books. You say, okay, I'm gonna start studying money or whatever. I'm gonna start studying my chosen craft or skill or topic. And then you read 4 chapters and you put the book on the shelf and you buy another book and you don't finish it because you get distracted by Instagram or Facebook or what someone else says, or you need to go out on Friday night and you don't focus. Life's like free throws. You can have everything that you want. You can be anything that you want in life, but you have to be able to focus. So you're not a professional athlete unless this video went viral and professional athletes are watching it, which would be cool. But anyways, you may not be a professional athlete. Think of the analogy of free throws in life. What are your free throws that you're missing? Free throws are easy points. The clock stops in the game. You're standing there a few feet from the line. You can make, I mean, if you're good at free throws, everyone should be shooting 80%. You should be shooting 90 though. And that was the one thing that you could count on to get points, to get yourself in a rhythm in the game if you're having a shooting slump. They're easy baskets. What are the easy baskets and the low-hanging fruit in life you're not focusing on? Is it that your morning routine is all scattered? You know what you should do, what you ought to do, but you don't do it. What are those things? Life is easy and hard at the same time, because what's easy to do is easy not to do. It's easy to make free throws. It's easy to spend that extra hour doing cold calls. It's easy to stay up an hour later than your competition and wake up 2 hours early. It just takes 3 weeks of getting in the rhythm of waking up at 4 a.m. and your body will be used to it. Those things are easy, but they're also easy not to do. Make a list of 1 or 2 of the easy things, the free throws, the layups that you're missing that you should be making. Life is about focus, not about all the things and all the noise outside of your mind. Next, you showed me that no material objects or outer success in life could fulfill you. I loved watching you after you retired, and you know, whereas most famous people, when they retire from their profession, they try to stay in the spotlight. You moved away from the spotlight, and you didn't really go to very many Lakers games, and it bothered a lot of Lakers fans, I think, maybe myself a little included. But you said, look, I live in Orange County. It's like super far away with LA traffic, and I have 5 daughters, and I want to be there for my kids because I was never there for them for 20 years because I was obsessed with my profession and I gave my profession all I had. You showed me that at the end of the day, the most important thing isn't success. It's not your goals. The most important thing is to have family, is to have friends, is to have people that you know you've truly loved and you've given attention to. And that is something that is important for me now that I'm freshly married and gonna be starting a family pretty soon. And it's something that all of us should consider, especially on the death of somebody. It's always a good reminder. Why don't you pull out your phone right now? Why don't you pull out your email right now and send a couple messages to a couple people and tell you love them? Heck, why don't you give them a phone call? Next, you taught me that if you gave your life your all, you would never regret it. They say that the #1 regret most people have is that I wish I would have lived a life true to myself. Most people do not live a life true to themselves because they half-ass their own life. And they end up at their deathbed regretting it. I wish I would have done more. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this. That's how most people live. And your goal, Kobe Bryant's goal was to, and I say your goal because I'm making this to him, is your goal was to get 8 NBA championships, 2 more than Michael Jordan. You finished with 5, you failed at your goal. but you really didn't fail because you gave the sport your all. You tore your Achilles and made 2 free throws right after you tore it. You were notoriously the hardest working professional athlete of your generation. And when you're interviewed before you passed away, they asked you if you had any regrets about not getting 8 chips. And you said, like, no, I literally could not give this sport any more than I possibly gave it, and I have to live with those results because there's some things that are just, quite frankly, were out of my control. I literally gave the sport my everything, and I want to live that same way in my life. I want to give my life my everything. I want to give my business my everything. I want to give my family my everything. I want to give my health my everything. I want to give it my everything, so when I'm 80, when I'm 70, when I'm 90, when I'm looking back, I can say, I literally gave my life everything that I have, and the fulfillment comes from there, not from what you may or may not have gotten from the outside world. Last but not least, you taught me to quit making excuses and to use pain to motivate me. Historic time when Kobe tore his Achilles and they needed to win the game to make the playoffs. So with the torn Achilles, with his Achilles rolled up into his calf, he stood up on one leg and swished both of the free throws in a world where people get paid $30 million totally healthy and they can't make one free throw. He did that. He, in the middle of the game, dislocated his finger, walked over to the bench, they snapped it right back into place, and he continued playing 20 seconds later without even leaving the game for a moment. Broke your right wrist, played the playoff series, and in the off season while your wrist was recovering, you learned how to shoot left-handed and started doing it in games when you couldn't get open. You would shoot it lefty. People say, hey, you're so lucky. No, he literally went into the gym. I watched Matt Barnes, NBA player, say he watched Kobe at the UCLA gym all summer shooting lefty, and then he started doing it in the game. So what this is telling us is that there are no excuses and that you can be great. You can have your life that you want. You can achieve the things that you want. And you may think you have certain limitations, whatever they are. Well, it takes money to make money and I don't have enough money and I'm not smart enough and they're smarter than me and the rich people control the money and I'm too old and I'm too young and I'm too fat and I'm unlovable and I live in the wrong place. And those things can stop you if you want them to. But if you want to find out what you're really capable of, you have to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to figure this out. You aren't limited by resources, you're only limited by resourcefulness. So that concludes the rest of this video. If you enjoyed this and you know someone that's a basketball fan or a sports or Kobe Bryant or a Lakers fan, please feel free to share this with them. Make sure you hit the like button on this video so more people will see it. It will send it out into the YouTube universe. Comment down below, Mamba out. Comment down below, Mamba out. Kobe Bryant's nickname for himself was Black Mamba. When he did his retirement speech, he ended it with Mamba out. And it was so iconic when Barack Obama left his presidency, he said, Obama out. So comment down below, Mamba out. Comment down below, Mamba out. If this is the first time watching one of my videos, make sure you hit the like button right over there on the side for more inspiration to live your best life. Subscribe right there and bell notification. Comment down below, Mamba out.
What can I say? Mamba out.